Currently, I'm dating 7 convicted felons.
These prisoners are violent.
Kidnapping, one of them chopped someone's fingers off with a machete, and attempted murder.
How's it going, internet? Welcome back to Grim, and yes, you heard that right. This woman is dating 7, yes, I repeat, 7 people at the same time. That would be crazy enough, right? Well, 7 people is a lot to juggle at once. Like, how do you even remember their lives or the conversations that you've had? But not to mention that these guys are convicted murderers and felons, and they're serving time in a federal prison. To me, I don't know about you guys, but this just seems like a lot to handle from a normal relationship standpoint, and she is totally upgrading the difficulty by only dating convicted felons. And the way that she smiles when saying the crimes they have done, it honestly kind of creeps me out. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it's almost like the fact that she knows that they are quote-unquote bad boys and the bad things they have done, and that just, I don't know, that doesn't settle well with me. I say bad boys in quotes because traditionally, when I hear the term bad boys, I don't know about you guys, but I think of dudes in leather jackets that smoke cigarettes and listen to old punk music. You know, like the kind you see romanticized in those old mid-2000s rom-com movies. Not people that have legitimately tried or successfully hurt people or committed a felony. That is just straight up a really bad person in my eyes.
Kidnapping, one of them chopped someone's fingers off with a machete, and attempted murder. It doesn't bother me that they're violent offenders.
Okay, this is ridiculous to me. The fact that it doesn't bother this woman that the men that she is dating are violent offenders is kind of mind-boggling. What if the victim of their crimes was someone that she knew? I guarantee you that she would have a totally different stance on this. This makes me feel like the woman doesn't actually think of the crimes themselves when seeing these men, but rather sees the man that did them as being cool or bad instead. Seriously, some of the crimes that she listed are appalling. And any normal person I feel would really not even consider starting even a friendly conversation or relationship with one of these people, let alone a romantic relationship.
My sister meets these guys on websites that connect prisoners to women.
Wait, websites like this exist? You're telling me that there's a Tinder for felons? Man, sometimes I really do think that the internet has gone too far, or that people have way too much time on their hands. I mean, I guess it's cool that niche dating sites exist, but this one seems to be really, really strange. But to each their own, I guess.
I like the Southern Hispanic, tatted up, bald-headed gang members. I like their looks, their personalities, and the rules that they follow.
The rules that they follow, yeah. What rules could she possibly be talking about? The gangs she described are pretty harsh. Like, I think the only rule they have is don't get caught if you're trying to take someone out, which most of these guys clearly failed to follow, seeing as they're in state penitentiaries right now. This statement just really is weird to me, and sadly they don't go into what rules she was talking about there. I mean, in terms of looks and personality of these guys, I guess those can be evaluated normally if you're unbiased somehow and put their crimes aside, but that's still kind of crazy that she's just said that. I guess that's why she's on Dr. Phil though.
I've sent money to every man that I'm dating that's in prison. It's once or twice per week, per person.
That's it, guys. I just thought of a genius plan. I'll be rich without ever working another day in my life, and I'll have free housing. All I have to do is quit my job, get locked up in a federal prison for a really long time, and then sign up for this dating site that she uses and match with her. That way I'll be rolling in dough like these other convicts just for messaging her or calling her once a week. Okay, obviously I'm joking there, guys, but just take a second to think about that. This woman is dropping bans on these dudes every month purely because she enjoys it and wants to date 7 guys at one time. Where does she work that she is given such a disposable income to be sending each of these guys money once or twice a week?
It's kind of a different schedule with each one depending on if they're federal or state custody. I've probably sent a total of close to $50,000 in 9 years.
$50,000? This woman could have bought the sickest CSGO inventory or even an insane car with that money. Okay, that's sad that my first thing I went to was a CSGO inventory. But anyways, she wants to send money to her boyfriends for I don't even know what. I've obviously never been in prison, but from what I can see in media and movies, or in general, I'm under the impression that all they can buy is things like cigarettes and slightly better food. That is an exorbitant amount of money to be sending people that she might never even have a normal relationship with outside of prison. But that's just my opinion, obviously. If it's been going on for 9 years, like she said, she obviously has decided that this is how she wants to live her life, and I can only input my opinion because, well, she decided to be on national TV with this story, so that makes it free reign.
She slowly is going into debt. They'll have food before she can pay her light bill.
Okay, apparently I was wrong in assuming she works some fancy job that pays her enough to be tossing around thousands of dollars a year on these guys. She's going in debt for these dudes? Why on earth would she not prioritize her being in good standing financially and having power in her house or water and basic necessities over sending money to these dudes she met on convict Tinder? This is just mind-boggling to me. I'm honestly just stuck trying to find what the gain is for her. Maybe it's a power thing to know that she is dating these 7 different guys and none of them will most likely likely ever know that she is doing it unless she tells them, because this isn't like a normal relationship if you think about it. I mean, obviously they can't go snooping through her phone while she's sleeping or ask her about it in real life. Or maybe she's just really lonely and this is her way of coping with that. But all I know is that this seems like a really one-sided relationship from what I can see.
Alex sends the prisoners money to buy food, tablets, shoes, cologne, watches, clothes.
I'm at the mall. What are you doing?
Demands on my time and resources are extreme.
I mean, these guys literally have her running errands all week, like a personal assistant on a film set. Like, this just gets more ridiculous the more I watch, honestly.
There's 3 men that I do actually love. The ones that I tell that I love, they don't know that I talk to other men. Oh, they will find out. Yes, the Dr. Phil show is very popular in prison.
No way. Okay, so apparently the other 4 are just for fun, and she has narrowed it down to 3. 3 that she says she actually loves. But still, none of those 3 guys know that she is cheating on them with 6 other dudes. You know, now that I think about it, this is kind of turning out to be one of those weird versions of The Bachelor. But instead of some woman trying to whittle down like models, basically she has 7 convicted felons and has to narrow it down to 1. Oh, also, she can only visit them every once in a while for like half an hour and then has to wait for a call for them otherwise. I mean, honestly, at this point from what I've seen in this video, I think this woman is just a chaotic person that really enjoys that aspect of life. Just being crazy and living life on the edge. Maybe that excites her and that's why she does all this. But the fact that she seemed so hyped for them to possibly find out when this episode of Dr. Phil airs in their prison is so wild to me. I mean, put yourself in one of these guys' shoes. Well, besides the murdering and stuff like that. Imagine how bad that dude is gonna feel when he finds out. He's probably gonna be sitting in the community area with his homies, and for 9 years he's been bragging to all of them that, hey yo, I got a girl outside and she buys me shoes and gives me money. And then the TV cuts to Dr. Phil in this episode, and they all find out this guy is getting played by her and is just one of 7 dudes that she's dating. 7. He's about to get clowned from them for the rest of his time being there if that is the case. And while I shouldn't feel bad for these types of dudes, I do feel bad knowing that. I mean, that still has to suck on a personal level.
Hello?
I take 4 to 5 phone calls per day from prisoners. I send and receive about 25 to 50 emails per day. Once I've established a relationship with them, I do feel obligated to continue it.
Okay, so at this point, she is basically working a second job to keep up with all these relationships that she has going. That amount of email and phone correspondence is like working as a customer service agent for some company. How can she possibly find that fun? Like running around and answering calls and doing emails, that has to feel like a job at some point, right? I don't understand how the romantic side of this relationship even exists when she's doing all these things while living a normal life. I mean, they don't really touch on what her normal job is. Maybe she works part-time or something, but regardless, this is just a very strange situation. And she's been up to this for almost a decade when you think about it, which just adds to the craziness.
I drove from Arizona to California to see one of the men that just got out of prison. That's the definition of ride or die, and I'm definitely ride or die for that one.
No way. Ride or die. Bro, I have not seen that term since my old cringy MySpace days. That's like a term that they print on those muscle bro shirts with all the tribal designs on them. You know which ones I'm talking about. They're always about to rip because the dudes who wear them are like roided out of their minds. And it usually says like, no pain, no days off. This lady is just ridiculous. I mean, I guess I have to hand it to her though. She is dedicated, and I guess that is a good term to describe how dedicated she is, because she will literally die for these guys.
Don't ever date in the real world. I've not been on a date in 7 to 8 years. I don't know how to talk to men or have normal relationships.
Okay, this part I find to get kind of real. I mean, the prospect of her dating in the real life is hard to imagine at this point, because she has been so accustomed to this dating lifestyle that she leaves now, if you can even call it that. And this part is kind of sad to me because I feel like she could almost be trapped in a way of living this way. And at this point, dating is pretty daunting for someone that isn't used to it, and she is definitely not used to the normal dating routine anymore, especially nowadays with how casual and different it is compared to just 10 years ago.
Are you currently looking to add?
No, so the one that's out will be living together, so everyone else is going away. He will take precedence over everyone else.
So finally the interview starts, and oh, we have a juicy plot twist, guys. This woman is done with the player lifestyle. Finally, one of her boyfriends is going to be released from prison, and now she's just going to focus on him and break it off with all the others. I wonder if this is her favorite, or if it's just the fact that he is the one that's going to be released the quickest.
He'll go back to prison. It's a pattern for him.
So you think you'll be with him for a period of time and then he'll go back in?
And then I'll just resume my prison wife status with him.
This woman just admitted that the man she's going to focus on and move in with is a violent offender, and that she is certain he is going to go back to prison. The nonchalant way that she brought this up honestly worries me. I mean, there's got to be something wrong with her view